It is Thursday, July 3rd, day 1 out of 4 of Fan Expo Denver. It is about 10:55. We open in about an hour. We just got the booth all finished and set up. We came in yesterday and did the backdrop and stuff, and then most of the table, and then today just finished up the table and did a little bit of rearranging. The back of the booth is very tight, and they didn't allow a whole lot of room between all the tables, so it's been interesting trying to figure out ways that like our neighbors can get out and we're able to get out and everything. But I think we got it all set up, and I will do a booth tour real quick. Okay, so we are back again this year with our premium artist spot. So we have 2 6-foot tables. So we did mostly blankets and then prints on the side. And then to use all the space, we have some stuff on the side, on the end here. Sorry. And then here is this side. We've got mini prints and then the stickers on the page. Ooh. Snoopy. Snoopy. I'm hoping that the tape holds up because I have a lot of things taped. And I'm just remembering that last year, everything we taped up just fell down constantly. So hopefully the tape gods will shine on this. Anyway, portfolio book, menus, and then magnets over here. I've got a couple new magnets. I'm overstimulated. It's one of my newer stickers. I also made a magnet, and then this is new as a sticker and magnet as well. I really like this one. It cracks me up every time. Yeah, so there's stickers. Then I have the mini print menu page repeated over here. When you have this size of a show and this size of a space, it's really nice to be able to repeat things on different sides of the table. So that way everyone who walks by gets to see everything. There's the rest of our prints. And then we made a little end here out of some tubs because it wasn't quite big enough for another table. So we put out some tubs and then hung more menu pages here on the end because I feel like we're going to get a lot of traffic from this side. Because there's an entrance right over there, so. It's really nice at the show to have the 2 tables because when you're crammed into a 6-foot spot, it's really hard to get everything out. Also this year where all the tables are really, I want to say they're really close together, but they are absolutely touching each other. So the people who have inlines, I don't know how they're going to be getting out. It has to be like a fire code violation or something. But anyway, we have everything all set up, so we should be good to go. We're just going to wait until things get started in about an hour and hopefully have a wonderful day. Last year, our sales were pretty consistent all 4 days, and so I'm hoping that'll hold up for this year as well. And the only difference is last year, the Thursday was actually the 4th of July. So I don't know if that's going to make a difference in the traffic since today's only the 3rd. And then we'll see how tomorrow goes. Okay, they just rolled out a little concession cart over there. And I'm actually really excited about that because if they get like a line, people will be forced to look at my booth. And they will not have a choice. So that's great. It's kind of like last year when we were right across from the bathroom. So when people would go to the bathroom, they would just have to look at my booth. Or if like they were waiting for someone outside the bathroom. I got a lot of sales from that. So yeah. morning. It is Friday, July 4th, day 2 of Fan Expo Denver 2025. Good start to the weekend so far. Yesterday was pretty good. It felt like traffic was a little down from last year, and I'm chalking that up to the Thursday not being the holiday like it was last year, and also it wasn't a full day. It started at noon, so we went noon to 8, and so where it was just a regular weekday, I'm wondering if that's one of the reasons. So today I'm hoping that we'll have a little bit more traffic and flow. It wasn't a bad day by any means. Just felt like it was a little bit down from last year. So yeah, today's Friday. It's also the holiday. So hopefully lots of people will be here for the 4th of July and the rest of the weekend. And we're just getting opened up, and then general admission comes in about 20 minutes. So it'll probably take a little while for things to get going, especially where it is a holiday and it's early. I'm sure a lot of people were just kind of getting their bearings yesterday and maybe not making purchases yet, just because it's a whole 4-day weekend of stuff. So hopefully we'll see some people come back around. And there was also a surprising amount of Thursday only badges, which is good too. Right as we were closing, we had someone with a Thursday only badge come by, and they ended up buying a blanket and some other stuff. So I'm glad that they made it to our booth before they got kicked out by security, because it was right at closing, and so they were trying to usher people out, but luckily we got that all taken care of, so that was nice. And hopefully we have a good, awesome, amazing day. To do a quick update. It's about 6 o'clock. We have about an hour left in the day. It's been a really good day, really steady. Definitely a lot more people here than yesterday, so that's good. And our sales are up from yesterday too, so that's a good sign for the rest of the weekend. Lots of small item sales, lots of single stickers, but it's smaller items but in larger quantities, so they do add up. But it's funny because a lot of people will just do the single sticker, or I've had a lot of people also just do like 3 stickers or even 4 stickers instead of doing the 5 for 20. So, but they do add up, so that's nice. Also been selling a lot of my stray merchandise, a lot of my stray sticker. There we go. That's mostly what the single sticker purchases I've had today have been. Lots of the magnet. I sold like 2 stray blankets in a row, so that was fun. Yeah, a lot of stray fans here this year. We will just finish out this last hour and then head on out. It is Saturday, July 5th, day 3 of Fan Expo Denver 2025. We are just getting ready to open up for VIPs here in about 5 minutes. And then general admission comes in at 10. So we're here 10 to 7, and it's Saturday, so hopefully it will be a great busy day. Yesterday was actually, it turned out to be a really good day. So hopefully we're only going to go up from there. So yeah, we're about to get opened up and we will see how the day goes. Good morning. It is Sunday, July 6th, the fourth and final day of Fan Expo Denver 2025. We are all set up, and yesterday ended up being a really solid day. It was Saturday, so usually you expect your Saturdays to be miles better than the other days of the convention. But what we found out, this convention is weird. For one, since it's 4 days, and also because it's been falling on a holiday, the Saturday isn't always a lot better than the other days. In fact, Friday we did a certain amount, and then yesterday we ended up doing the same amount plus 50 cents. So we did 50 cents more yesterday than we did on Friday, which is great. I'll take it. So we found that out from this con from last year and now this year. So now we know what to expect a little bit more. To check in. It's about 4:30, so we have about half an hour left before we close up for the weekend. Today has been really consistently busy. We're just going to finish out these last 30 minutes and then get packed up and get on the road back home.
The show will be closing in a half hour at 5 p.m.
Hello, it is Wednesday, July 16th, and I just wanted to give some final thoughts on Fan Expo Denver 2025. Overall, it was another great weekend. our sales throughout the weekend, aside from Thursday was a bit of an outlier, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, our sales were pretty consistent with each other. After doing the math for our gross sales over the entire weekend, there was less than a $100 difference between our total this year and our total from last year. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. You know, going into a con, you're always hoping to make more than you did the year previous, but this year has been really weird for cons so far, and I think a lot of people can agree with that, in that people just aren't spending as much, and that's just the way it's been so far this year. And so a lot of people are seeing sales stagnate or go down. So for me to be able to maintain the same amount of sales between last year and this year, I'm pretty pleased with that. And also, we did stay outside of downtown Denver, so we saved some money there. We stayed in Brighton and drove in each morning and drove back out each night, and that ended up saving us a lot of money in terms of hotel, parking, and food. Our hotel had free breakfast, had free parking. We just had whatever gas would cost to do the 20 to 30 minute drive each way, but that was pretty negligible compared to what we were saving not staying at a downtown hotel. If I went and calculated my actual profit, it was probably a bit higher this year just because we didn't spend as much on hotel and food. And we also got to eat In-N-Out 5 times, so that was great. But yeah, it was another great weekend. 4-day cons are a lot, but this one I feel is worth it. Kind of interesting, between this year and last year, I sold a lot less like large prints, and that's kind of been my trend this year anyway, so this con wasn't really a surprise. But I did sell more blankets than I did last year, and I think that has a lot to do with we started doing a bundle deal at the end of last year. We started that, so blankets were moving a lot quicker than last year, and just a lot of smaller items, stickers. This show loves my magnets, and last year I sold out of 2 or 3 of my magnet designs. So this year I came prepared. I ended up having enough for the whole weekend, but yeah, Denver loves my magnets for some reason. I'm not going to complain because they don't always sell as well at other shows. So it's nice to count on Denver to buy my magnets. Small prints, stickers, magnets, those were the majority of my sales. We had our premium end cap, and that's always nice. I did, in my application for 2026, I did request to move up to a featured artist booth if one comes available. So yeah, we are already all set to return next year. I'm sure a lot of you have heard by now that the dates for Fan Expo Denver are changing next year. It's going to be May 28th through June 1st, 2026. I'm actually okay with it. I didn't mind it too much being on the holiday, but I'm okay with it moving back when, before Fan Expo took over this show and it was Denver Comic Con, it was usually around June. So it doesn't feel like that big of a change for me just because we've been there that time of year before. It is remaining a 4-day show, which is interesting. Hopefully that will pay off even without a holiday to coast us through the weekend. I really enjoy this show. It's one of my favorites. We love Denver. We love being able to go to Colorado. Yeah, we used to attend the show before it was Fan Expo, so we really like the convention space, and we like, just the vibes. So we'll probably be returning each year regardless. So yeah, I have a bit of a break until my next convention. My next convention will be NanDesuCon in Aurora, so we'll be going back to Colorado at the end of August. So I've got some time to prepare for that. I'm really excited for that show. I've heard it's a lot of fun and the vibes are really good. Thank you to everyone who came and visited the booth. I did have some people mention my videos and some other things. I'm always excited to see you guys in person and hear from you. I really appreciate that always. I'm really grateful to everyone who came out and bought some stuff from me, who has ever bought anything from me, if I'm being honest. The fact that I get to sell my art and people like it so much that they want to buy it, I think about that a lot. So I'm very grateful to all of you. Make sure, if you are not already, you follow my Instagram. That's where I post most of my updates in terms of my con schedule and new artwork and all that good stuff. So subscribe here on YouTube. Leave a comment if you were at the show or if you have any thoughts on any of the stuff I mentioned, especially about the dates moving. I'm interested to hear what other people think about that, whether you're an attendee or an artist. So I will sign it off here, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.